I'm Xavier, the Executive Director of RJIOK. We believe that our children are our future, and we know that we can best support our children by having restorative classrooms. That's why we partner with educators across our community like Shannon Hawkins about how we can support them to create those safe spaces so our children can learn and thrive.
I learned about RJIOK through community work, where I first met Xavier, the Executive Director. We were working on an initiative to ensure that Black boys in schools were not being suspended and expelled at a high frequency. And so through that work, I learned of what RJIOK was doing and wanted to learn more. So I had the opportunity to be a part of one of the fellowship programs for teachers this past summer, where I feel like I had like a whole transformative experience. I walked away from that experience really holding on to my values as a teacher. There's not a lot of talk around the self-work that needs to take place for teachers. And I think that RJIOK really set up the stage for teachers to really come into that space and really think through what are the values that you want to have for yourself as an educator, and then also for your students. What does that look like in practice? And how do we create transformative communities in our classrooms? Restorative justice in my classroom, I think first starts with my mentality. I noticed one of my students, they be having a temper tantrum. The way in which I approach that student is different. And so if a student is struggling, I might come up to the student and say, I noticed that this is something that you're experiencing. Tell me more. I want to know what's taking place. I want to know what's happening, as opposed to maybe a punitive approach where that student is, I'm seeing the student as maybe a disruption or being taken away from the learning experience. That can be true, because that is part of the classroom, but at the same time, because I'm more focused as well on the well-being of my students and their hearts, I am also thinking about the way that I approach them, the way in which I speak with them, and to ensure that I am holistically developing them as well as academically. I think that restorative justice is something that every teacher needs in their tool belt. I think that it gives us as teachers the opportunity to really reflect and show up differently in the work. If an educator is interested in training with RJIOK, I would say absolutely go and do